Hello, it will be my honor today to present to you new and very exciting information brought to us by Peter Petrov, a professional certified past life regressionist who has regressed thousands of clients. Although historic research is not the prime focus of his work, he couldn't help but notice that many historic events, or even entire big chapters of our past, are mistakenly recorded in the current so-called history. The past life regressions are basically an eyewitness accounts of historic events. The subject of this interview will not be proving the historical accuracy of these accounts, because in previous videos I have already provided many free links where you can read and see for yourself the proof of all this. Instead of that, I'm gonna start straight with the most interesting and ask him about Atlantis. I'm not very experienced in producing interviews, so the sound quality is not the best possible, especially a couple of sentences in the beginning are not so good. Thank you for your patience with that, but I assure you that the interview is well worth listening despite the sound problems. And before going straight to Atlantis, I just want to tell you why, out of the dozens of thousands of past life regressionists on our planet, I have decided to interview exactly Peter Petrov from Bulgaria. The main reason is the purity of his intent. Although his waiting list is booked many months in advance, still he finds the time to publish for free on his website the most interesting accounts, with the intention to get this most valuable wisdom out there to the people that need it. And the other reason is that years ago I contacted him by email without providing any information of who am I, and he took the time to answer the questions of absolutely unknown person for free with amazing detail and care, and at every step he got sure that I know everything needed so that I can practice the techniques needed at home alone. All the qualified past life regressionists will assure you that the purpose of their life is to get you in touch with that wisdom inside yourself and so on. And it all looks very humanitarian, but very few of them care for the people who can't pay hundreds of dollars and euros, which is usually absolutely required to even enter their office.
Thank you for the attention.
Tell us everything about Atlantis and Lemuria. When did they exist? What people doing? How did they meet their demise? Everything, please.
Okay, so for Lemuria, I never saw, and Atlantida is it was forbidden. I had some client years ago, and she wanted to see her past life in Atlantida, and it was forbidden. For me, also 5-6 years ago, I know that I have life there, and I just had a little glimpse of it, and something said not now. And recently, this after 2012, this part of the Akasha records was started to a little reveal themselves. So I've seen only in Atlantida few people, and mostly the things we know about, they knew telekinesis, telepathy, they knew, maybe a lot of people could call this sorcery in these days, but they knew nature. They knew, they first of all, they call themselves community. Some of them, they are very attracted to nature. Some of them are very attracted to technology. Maybe there were two parts of the society, spiritual and technological oriented. So I have seen some of the both. I see both. I have seen both, and some of them they had really spiritual seeking. They were recently. I saw a past life when the person was like a monk, and there were some creatures who were 3 meters high, and they were giving him with the dolphin hats. They were giving him knowledge about the chakras, and there were 13. They knew about 13 chakras on this time, and they said that you can gain knowledge to all the chakras through gaining knowledge for one chakra. For example, the character had a very, very strong connection with his throat chakra. He was singing, he was talking, having public speeches, and he was developing his fifth chakra, throat chakra. And he said that if you go deeper in one chakra, you can get knowledge for all of them.
Any clues about how did Atlantis meet its end? Or where was it located exactly? Was it surely in the Atlantic Ocean? Because there are other hypotheses as well.
I really didn't go this in this direction, because when I have a person who is looking in their past life, I'm trying to see what can be useful from this past life to the present life. And this is my focus. There was, I know for the exile of Atlantis, there were a conflict between exactly these, let's call them spiritual seekers and technology lovers. Let's say there was some kind of conflict. And this conflict lowered their defense, and some other nations came and they just destroyed Atlantis. And some of you maybe you know that some of the Atlanteans, they rescued themselves and went to Egypt and Babylon and make a new civilizations there.
Mm-hmm. So you have heard from your clients in particular about Egypt and Babylon.
They say exactly. One client saw exactly they were locking some houses, some warehouses. They were just leaving, locking everything in. They were just leaving.
So many of us have heard about Atlantis and Lemuria, but from your clients, have you ever heard about any other ancient civilizations that we don't even have the name of?
I'm not sure that they are on Earth. Maybe some of them are on Earth, some of them are in some parallel universes. So ancient, it's maybe not the correct word, because I have seen a lot of different things, and I'm not sure what is exactly ancient and what is recent, but there are a lot of civilizations around.
Yes, I understand that. And do you have any clue if you have ever encountered souls that have been on Atlantis or Lemuria? How did the people themselves at that time call their civilization or their, I don't think it was a country or culture or any name that comes from them, because now we call them this way. But what did they consider themselves?
Interesting. I never asked. They mostly the people, if they see a life in this civilization, they use the word which is modern, because in my types of regression, the mind is not that off, and I never thought to ask them, what is the name of your civilization?
Have you heard any mention of Hyperborea as such?
No.
It's some sort of synonym of Atlantis, as far as I understand. It's in the ancient Greek texts. It's, let's say, the original abode of the Slavic people. It's somewhere in the north. Well, north is rather general, you know.
Yeah.
North from Greece. Many things are north from Greece.
Yeah.
But from its description, I mean, people can fly, telepathy, totally advanced technology. It looks like Atlantis, so...
Most probably it is, but they have in history there is a lot of one thing is have many names.
Yes, yeah. I have many episodes, many documentaries exactly on this problem.
Okay.
We're aware of that. We're just not aware what's the real history.
It's many different points of view, but I have seen, I have cases in which Wikipedia or some other major websites are not right about history. Main criticism about regression is that you have seen a movie, read a book, or read an article, and when you come into regression session, the mind gathers this information and just invents a past life. But I have seen people who have a real historical past, and they tell me some things, and we check, and it's exactly opposite.
Well, Peter, I don't know what to say because I worked 1 year and I produced almost 50 episodes of documentary proving that most of the so-called official history is simply fiction. So for us, this is mostly proven and many thousands of people share my opinion. And we have reached so far, but in terms of recovering the real history, we have reached almost nowhere. I'm not into these wild speculations to imagine all kinds of scenarios. Of course, they're all possible. The alternative history is full of such hypotheses, but I'm more into finding something tangible. And tangible scenarios, I'm telling you, are not so many in the alternative history, actually. Mostly people tend to distort a bit this fictional history to make it look a bit better. But at the end, it's just a variation of this fiction. But now we have you, and you are now my hope. Today, you're going to tell me all the real history, all these cases.
The problem is not real history. When somebody see a historical event, even it is a very popular historian, he writes something down, but it's one point of view. And maybe real is real only for the person who is writing down or the person who is observing. But yes, you're right. A lot of history has been changed. A lot of things we don't know. We see this, I don't know if you are aware, but now they have made some changes in Bulgarian history books. They're writing things that my generation did not study, did not learn. Now it's like a new history.
Yeah, they do it all the time. What's the...
Yeah, you're right.
Well, you almost answered to this one. What percentage of the historical data collected from past life regressions can be considered true? Of course, even when people normally speak in everyday life, they don't speak the full truth. Not only because they lie, but also they don't know. It's always personal, personal perspective. But still, always there is some percentage of truth. Like, is there a war outside now? There is or not. It's you can't make up much about that. Some things can't be distorted that much. So how much is it? Is this data reliable? Tell us your viewpoint.
I have to say that I believe everything, 100% of the people information, because many times I have checked. For me, it's 100% true. Of course, from the point of view of the person who is there and telling me the story. Because, again, this example with the war you gave me, the one person can tell me, this is the war, they are the enemy. And if I see if I'm lucky to see another person from the other part of the same war, he can say they are the enemy. They start the war.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just trying to find out, was there even a war, I will be lucky if I find out even that. That was my point. Okay, so sometimes during regressions, I read on your website and also others have recorded, people say, oh, it was another year and the year doesn't match with the official history. And then that was, for example, you had it in one story of Egypt. So tell us, does this happen often? And if you have noticed any tendencies of certain historic events to be shifted in certain directions, because I have suspicion that this is the case indeed. Can you tell us some data? And also, maybe this is very complex because people will be talking from our point of view. They use our language, our terms. So when they say, certain year, it could be according to our calendar or their calendar because the calendars were changed, and it's such a confusion. Can you help?
I have, maybe you're right. I had some other people who said, it's the year of the fourth moon. They use exactly, and this is a person who is living in South America. And I asked, which year is this in the Gregorian calendar? And they said, oh, it's 300, 400 after Christ. So the person, sometimes in regression, the person is using the calendar of the tribe. Also, I have read one book of Charles Leadbeater, who is a theosophic, and he's telling me this very interesting thing that I have seen also. Sometimes when you transfer information from astral world to our world here on Earth, there can be some distortions. For example, one person is telling me, I'm a knight, I have a sword, and we are in war, and the year is 1843. 19th century, there were no knights. It's not possible. It could be switch of the numbers. For example, I think the year of this past life is 1483. The two digits in the middle, they just change places. And this could happen a lot in regression or in meditation.
Which is the most evolved soul you have ever encountered, and what wisdom did you get from him or her?
Okay, there is a wisdom in every case. Like one client say, very, very good. This was the message from her regression. She said, you are on your path, I'm on my path, and he's on his path, and everybody is exactly there where they are supposed to be.
Which is the soul that has reached its highest evolution level and that you have had a conversation with?
Maybe it's Perseus. As I mentioned, he was here a lot years, gathered a lot of information. He's one of the souls. They call themselves, like, I don't know, gatherers of information, the observers. They just gather information and get information, and they spread information. His mission now of this soul is to gather information and to make it close to the people to understand it. So maybe if I have to choose one, it will be this soul who made really, really interesting discoveries for me.
Yeah, actually I have ordered his book already. It will reach me here abroad in a couple of weeks. But let's jump to that question if you want now. how much, I haven't read his book yet, but do you think that can be considered a relatively reliable historic account? Because we have almost nothing. Yeah, you're telling me straightforward. Yes, I'm extremely excited to get hold of it and read it, and I will definitely present it to the viewers of my channel, because I don't think it has an English translation yet. I think barely the first book came out in Bulgarian, right?
Yeah, maybe half a year, I don't know, or 1 year. Time is really speeding now.
And the second volume has not come out even in Bulgarian.
I think it's coming up next week or already came out. I'm not sure.
I will definitely do that. I wanted first to connect to you and get your impression, because thousands of people claim that they're this and that, but you know how it is when you read their work, it's not always very inspiring. Okay, now let's switch to a bit of a different area.
Okay.
Michael Newton says that he has never encountered a client who has been possessed by another living entity. Before talking about possession in detail, I want to clarify that people are not always familiar that they could be possessed by other parts of their own being. I think, will you agree with me?
Yeah, it's possible. Possession, maybe it's a co-living.
Because everything is consciousness. So, well, they say I'm possessed by somebody, yeah, but that somebody could be aspect of you. Yep. So, keeping that in mind, why did Michael Newton said that I have never seen cases of possession, this doesn't exist, this infringes on our freedom. So, he basically denied that. But we know from numerous other sources that possessions can be quite real. Why did Michael Newton talk in this way? Was he just trying to be positive, or was he just seeing the things the way he wants to see them? He's such an authority, but I'm just guessing. You're the one who has first-hand experience. Tell us your view on this.
Michael Newton is amazing, but he had lived in very difficult time when this topic about past life and regression was some kind of taboo, and his books are 15 years old. And as I mentioned, now time is really speeding up, especially after 2012, and a lot of people are perceiving this time distortion, and a lot of things are changing very fast. And maybe Michael Newton really did not had these kind of cases. That's why he said there is no kind of thing like Dolores Cannon. In the beginning of her practice 20 years ago, she said there are no new souls on earth. And in her last book, which came last year, The 3 Waves of Volunteers, it's only with cases about new souls, first-time comers on earth. So this is like evolution in her own perception of the topic of regression, from no, there are no new souls, to, okay, I publish a book with only new souls on earth. So new informations, new souls, the new souls are, they're actually not new. They're just first time on earth, which I had some cases like this also. They had a lot of incarnations in different planets, different dimensions, but it's just first time on earth. And these kind of souls, they can bring a lot of information.
Peter, tell us, who is God?
Okay, God, I love to call him the source. So God is the ultimate calmness.
Have you ever encountered souls that were animals?
Yep. 2 monkeys, 1 wolf, eagle, and one dead deer, freshly died. It was deer, yes. It was very strange case. I have also seen minerals. I have it on my website, actually. One lady, she saw her past life. She was a mineral, like stone. And she was experienced this cold and heavy feeling. It was really interesting for me. And there, of course, also messages from these animals' past lives. They're interesting. It's again, they have a part of God. They have their place in the chain of life and matter. So they have they could give messages.
Do you want to tell us some of them, or
maybe the monkey? One of the monkeys, he was a boy, the client, and the monkey was really, monkey, playful.
Mm-hmm.
So this was his message.
Some people wrote comments on one of my videos, and they shared their idea, so to say, a dream or a good wish. Good wish is probably the best word. That, I want to live in future without any, to say, life plans, because as you know, the souls, they make life plans before they come here.
Yes.
So people said, we've heard about these life plans. We don't want them anymore because, you see, they make us suffer. And also these so-called guides, that's what people wrote in the comments, they were not satisfied because the guides were tricking them into these contracts, and then they suffer because of the contracts. Yeah, I'm not supporting these ideas. I'm only telling you what people expressed as a wish. Mm-hmm. So apparently these people, and they have their forums and so on. So people hear such things and tend to believe them. So as far as good wishes, anybody can make good wishes. Other thing is, have we ever encountered such cases living without life plans? Ultimately, although it is only a good wish at this point, what will be the result of the wishes of such people? Let's say, the way I imagine it, maybe if they're really into it, maybe in future lives they can go to other spheres of existence where the life plans are not so tough, or the education is not so intensive as on Earth. That's my understanding, because I've never heard about ordinary people going without life plan. I can believe if Jesus Christ came without a life plan, that I can believe, and few others.
He had very strict life plan, I think, Jesus. Okay, I can tell you about life plans. It's my favorite topic recently. I'm an example of my life plan is 10-12%. So I have, let's say, 12% of must-do things. This is the contract of my soul. The other 88% is free will. This is my soul. But I think I have the experience. A lot of people does not choose fixed plans. Why? Because fixed plan is karma. As we said, maybe half of the souls now living on this planet are for first time on this planet. And if they make some karma, they will be caught in the samsara, in the wheel of life, of reincarnation. If they have strong partnership, or kill somebody, or give birth to anybody, they will make good or bad karma, which means that they will have to have next past life again on Earth. But But a lot of souls, they just came to help on Earth. And they don't want to repeat this experience. So they don't want to make karma. I don't have a case which has no plan of life. But maybe these comments are coming from souls. They have, like me, they have less obligations.
Actually, these people who were commenting like this, they were more suggesting it to others not to believe in such things. Like they were basically against life plans and against...
Okay, there are life plans. For sure, there are life plans. Everybody has a life plan. If we are on Earth, we sign a contract. It's not exactly the words, but I can't find any other. We have agreement. Okay, let's say agreement. If you are on planet Earth, you have an agreement why you are here. There is a purpose. Nothing in the universe is without a purpose. Maybe those people does not understand the purpose, but for sure, if you want to come on planet Earth in these beautiful costumes, which we call bodies, we have agreement.
But to get back to the point of these people, it was actually a very interesting discussion with these comments. Well, they're getting against these contracts, and their logic was, you see, there is suffering imposed upon us. Like, for example...
Okay, let me tell you about suffering. And one client said, very good, I listen to the whispers of the universe, so the universe would not have to scream. Because these bad things, this suffering is screaming because the universe is talking. You have a flu, take a rest, don't work that much, have a nice conversation, your internet is stopping, and this is universe talking to you. Go speak to your mother or to your lover. Make a connection without Facebook or some other media. Just universe is talking. The problem is the person is not listening. And sometimes the universe has to scream because you sign an agreement. This is for sure. Maybe this agreement is more freely from some souls and more obligatory for other souls. Suffering is just a reminder that you are far away from your plan.